Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Matt here this week, and I saw the new Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. This is the third Fantastic Beasts movie in the franchise and the 11th movie in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Little background. I enjoyed the first Fantastic Beasts. I thought the trio, or the foursome, of Tina, Newt, Jacob, and Queenie was very good. It reminded me of Harry, Ron, and Hermione a little bit. Went into the Crimes of Grindelwald, the second film, anticipating it, especially when we heard that Johnny Depp was going to be playing Grindelwald. I did not like the Crimes of Grindelwald, other than for Johnny Depp in the role. I thought he was the standout of that film. So I went into this movie because I am a Harry Potter fan. I've been a Harry Potter fan since, I started reading the books in elementary school. And then, of course, the movie started when I was in middle school, and it went all the way till junior year of college. So I've got over 20 years, or 10 years of movies, and then you add about 2 to 3 years prior to the books, and now the Fantastic Beasts movies, over 20 years of Harry Potter. Either way you slice it. But once again, just because, as that famous Jurassic Park line, just because you think you should, you don't ever stop to think if you should. Just because you could, you don't ever stop to think you think should. You should. I know I completely butchered that. And that is what I have to say with a lot of franchises that, they have magic in a bottle. No offense to the word magic in the Harry Potter world, but certain franchises, certain trilogies have that magic first time around, and people think, oh, we've done it once, we can replicate it again, and sometimes you don't stop and go, maybe that was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. I mean, you go back to the original Star Wars trilogy, magic. An unknown original property is very successful financially, critically, and then, X amount of years later we get the prequels. Same team behind them, even some of the actors come back. But guess what? The prequels of Star Wars didn't even close to match the original trilogy. Then you look at Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, perfect example, magic in a bottle. We're going to film all 3 movies at once, and we're going to hope to God that first movie is successful, or else we really wasted a lot of money, and we're really screwed on what to do with the second and third one. And they have become one of the most successful financial and critically winning Academy Awards of any franchise. So what do they do? 10 years later, we're going to make The Hobbit. We're going to make it into 3 movies. Because that's what we did with Lord of the Rings. We're going to bring back Peter Jackson, and well, once again, did it work? The Hobbit films aren't good. And then we get into Harry Potter. Harry Potter. 8 movies, 10 years from 2001 to 2011. 10 years of nothing going wrong. 10 years of every movie being good to great. I really don't think there's a horrible Harry Potter movie. There might be one that's not as good as some others, but nowhere near on the level of, I will never watch that movie ever again. None of them. And in terms of only setbacks in that entire franchise, you had, I think it was either Crabbe or Goyle. The actor got arrested. Okay, he was a C-level character who barely popped up in the movies. Not a big deal. I bet a lot of people didn't even realize he was gone in the last, I think, Deathly Hallows. And that was it. And then Richard Harris, who played Dumbledore in the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, passed away before they started filming the third one, which Richard Harris was a great actor, but I don't know why they went after an actor who was already like in their 80s when you were playing an entire franchise. So I don't blame the actor for dying. I blame the studio on that one for casting an actor who was that old. But that's it. Out of the 10 years, those were the only hiccups in the entire franchise. One of them couldn't be helped because the actor was old. The other one, okay, a C-level character got thrown in jail. And no one even heard about it. Unlike the Fantastic Beasts, where these movies haven't been that great. Number one, none of them can stand up to even the least favorite Harry Potter movie. And then, of course, with all the controversy behind the movies, Johnny Depp, J.K. Rowling, and now Ezra Miller, you really go, I think this franchise is cursed. Because, once again, you saw the success of Harry Potter, and you said, let's do it again. Paying no attention to those other franchises that try to replicate success. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and look how they've done. But anyway, let's get into the secrets of Dumbledore. Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander is one of the biggest highlights of this entire series. He's weird, he's quirky, he's funny, he's awkward, and it just fits. I mean, especially in this one, when he's awkward in this one, it's the highlight of the movie. And I feel bad that he could have been the next Daniel Radcliffe of these Harry Potter movies, but because the movies haven't been that great to begin with, it's kind of sad that Eddie Redmayne, an Academy Award winning actor, hasn't had that great movie yet in this franchise. And then, of course, like I said, they had to replace Johnny Depp because of controversy, and they brought in the great Mads Mikkelsen playing Grindelwald. He does a great job. He's charming in moments. He's evil in moments. He is great at persuading people to come onto his side. Very good. He also buys in that romantic relationship or history he has with Dumbledore. He's a good actor. Once again, Jude Law as Dumbledore. We get more of him in this movie. He does a great job too. I wish they went even further with him, because the title is The Secrets of Dumbledore. But I do think the last scene in this movie with Dumbledore is one of the best character moments, like really showing the character of who he is, his past, his present, and the future of Dumbledore we see in the Harry Potter movies. Jude Law really captured that like perfectly. Like I'm like, why couldn't we get more of this in the entire movie? And who knows? I mean, I would love to see. And they knew one more Fantastic Beasts, even though they have a 5-year plan. I feel like this is like Big Daddy. 5-year plan. Don't die. 5-year plan. Let's try and make 2 more movies that don't suck. That would be great. Well, I'd like to see the last 2 movies really focus more on just the Grindelwald-Dumbledore relationship leading into seeing a young Voldemort. I think that would be great. I think this movie is a lot more focused, descriptive, than the previous movie. And even the first movie, J.K. Rowling wrote the script. And then they brought, I guess, they didn't like J.K. Rowling's script. J.K. Rowling, good book author. J.K. Rowling, not a good screenwriter. Very different. That's why you have a person, a screenwriter, adapt a book. That's why when it says adapted screenplay, because they adapted the book into a script that works for a film. J.K. Rowling wrote the first two screenplays for the Fantastic Beasts. That's why they're not as focused. She's writing as an author who's used to writing a 1,000-page book. Can't do that in a movie. When they brought back Stephen Kloves, who wrote most of the Harry Potter movies, wrote the screenplays, except for one of them. And once again, like I said, you see how focused those Harry Potter films were from number 3 on. You definitely see that in this movie. No subplots, no random characters, just focus on these characters, this main plot, that's it. Once again, the NCP of these movies, Dan Fogler, as Jacob Kowalski, he's funny, he's the normal muggle in this world. He's our POV into this world. And once again, Dan Fogler does a great job. He's another one that these movies should be so much better because they have the talent like an Eddie Redmayne and a Dan Fogler who really elevate it. And once again, he's funny, he's romantic, he's charming, he's great. But once again, these films do not live up to the acting potential. This movie has a lot of action, a lot of wizarding action, a lot of wand action in this movie, which is great. At this point, I'm like, I want to see more action. We're getting into this war between Grindelwald and Dumbledore and everything. We need to see some wand action, Kind of like when we got into later, like the 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th Harry Potter films. We need to see that action. We got this war building. And this movie does have a lot more action than the previous two. So if you're into wand action, you're going to get your wand action in this movie. And humor. This movie has a lot of humor throughout. Dan Fogler, Eddie Redmayne. Mainly, they're the main two. I really enjoyed them. They provide a lot of the humor. Catherine Waterston, who played Tina in the first two, she was one of the main trio. She's barely in this movie. She has one scene. And I thought that was a missed opportunity. Maybe if they make a 4th one, they'll bring her back into a main role. I like Catherine Waterston ever since I saw her in Inherent Vice with Joaquin Phoenix. And then of course she was in the last Alien movie, Alien Covenant. And she was good in that. As the main badass female. Almost like a Ripley character. So I really missed her. Like, especially when we had a scene with Eddie Redmayne. You can really tell that we're missing his other half. Let me see what else. This franchise is still not magical enough. If you're going to do a new series of movies, you need to bring something to make it feel new again. Make it feel fresh. I think these Fantastic Beasts movies are like, the first one was felt a little bit new, the beast part of it, these new creatures that dude has to go and find. But these last two movies, I'm like, there's nothing new here. There's nothing exciting, nothing fresh that we haven't seen before. Yeah, we have some action, and we got more action than the last two movies, but I've seen good wizard versus bad wizard pulling their wands out and doing a little dueling action. We've seen it in all 8 Harry Potter movies. I want to see more than that. That one was great about the Harry Potter movies. The first two were more introducing us to the world. Third one dealt with Sirius Black. The 4th one had a tournament going on. The 5th one got more into the psychology of Harry and Voldemort's relationship. And then by the 6th one was more of a backstory of Voldemort and his rise to power. And then the 7th one was an all-out road trip movie in the first half, and then a giant battle in the second half. So it really was able to, keep things fresh throughout each movie, or book, whatever. But since these movies, the Fantastic Beasts movies aren't based on any books. You know, you can really tell they're struggling to, what can we do? Do we want to stay more in the familiar, or do we want to try and do something new? And they don't know how to balance that. Is the director, David Yates. David Yates has become the Michael Bay of Harry Potter Wizarding World movies. People give Michael Bay a lot of shit because he did 5 Transformers movies. And in between, he only did one other movie in between those 5 Transformers movies. Now, people give Michael Bay shit for doing 5. Well, David Yates has now done 7. That's right, people. 7 movies dealing with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. He came on in 2007 and did Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I think that's like my second favorite Harry Potter film. Yeah, he had a different tone than Goblet of Fire or Prisoner of Azkaban. Then he did, cinematography-wise, tone-wise. Then he came on and did Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Once again, different looking film and tone, different looking in cinematography. You would never guess it was the same director. Then he came on and did the final one, Deathly Hallows, which they broke up in 2 movies. But once again, you watch that movie. Very different cinematography from Order of the Phoenix or Half-Blood Prince. And once again, a different tone and feel. To the point that you would never suspect that the same director did the 5th, 6th, and 7th Harry Potter films. You would never, in a million years, expect that. But with the Fantastic Beasts movies, you watch all 3 Fantastic Beasts movies, they all look the same, they all feel the same. You definitely can tell that one director has done all 3 movies. And to that point I say, buddy, you've been doing this since 2007. Actually, before 2007, because the movie came out in 2007. Which means you were shooting this movie. You came on into this world of Harry Potter by at least mid to late 2005. We are now in the year 2022. That means the year that my brother graduated high school in 2005, you have been doing nothing but Harry Potter movies. Wait, he did one movie in 2016, that Tarzan movie with Alexander Skarsgård and Margot Robbie. That's it. That's the only thing he's done since. So you have literally been doing Harry Potter for almost 20 years. 2005 to 2022. Minus 3 years and you would be at 20 years of doing nothing but Harry Potter. Buddy, I thought your Harry Potter films were great, but it is time to bring in a new person with a new look at this world, a new vision, a new eye for this world. It's like with the movie Bumblebee, when they got someone other than Michael Bay to do something in the Transformers world. The Bumblebee movie is great, but again, it shows a different perspective of this world. A different eye, a different look in the cinematography, a different tone, everything. That's what this Harry Potter world franchise needs. Now, and that even means bringing back a director from one of the Harry Potter films. Mike Newell, who did Goblet of Fire. Alfonso Cuarón, who did Prisoner of Azkaban. In fact, Alfonso Cuarón was going to maybe return and do the first Fantastic Beasts movie. But for some reason, they couldn't get him. Bring back Alfonso. People consider Prisoner of Azkaban one of the best Harry Potter films. Bring back Mike Newell, who did Goblet of Fire. Like I said, I mean, you have or just bring in someone completely different. I mean, I would love to see a Guillermo del Toro Wizarding World Harry Potter film. I mean, there are a lot of directors out there that have jumped into fantasy and can do a great job in bringing their unique ideas and look, especially since the Fantastic Beasts movies are not based on any books. You can truly have a director come in and pitch their idea for a fourth and fifth movie. That even if J.K. Rowling has a roadmap, the director can still come in and give their ideas on how to make it better. Plus, put in their unique look to the film and spin on the film. And I think this is what the Fantastic Beasts movies need. They need a new director to come in. Even if that means you make one more Fantastic Beasts movie, bring in a different director to finish out the series. So those are my thoughts on the movie. I would give this movie like a 3.7 out of 5. Better than the last one. But like I said, nothing great. Nothing that's like, wow, that really blew me away. It's not on any level of any of the Harry Potter films. Definitely not like a Prisoner of Azkaban or a Order of the Phoenix or Deathly Hallows. So, I feel like they need to do something with this series. I mean, I think actually moving forward, now, what happened with Ezra Miller's character, they really don't need to bring back Ezra Miller anymore. His controversy is going on. Just write him out of the series. Johnny Depp is gone now, so just bring back Mads Mikkelsen. I say bring back 3 people. Jude Law, Mads Mikkelsen, and Ray Fiennes as Voldemort, and start developing that story of the first war with the Dark Lord Voldemort. That would be a great idea for a 4th and 5th movie. 2-part, the first war in 2 movies. That would be awesome. But those are my thoughts on this new movie. Comment at the bottom if you saw the movie, if you liked it, didn't like it. What do you think they should do next in this franchise?